Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. I'd like to discuss a shaila that I saw brought in Sfarim, an interesting shaila. We all know there are plenty of people that own pets, and there's many halachas that you have to know that are associated with pets, especially on Shabbos. But here is the interesting twist, halacha in kinyanim, in kinyan. Let's say somebody owns a dog or any other pet, and he was going out of town, and he gave his friend the dog to watch. So the friend helped him. And this is a story, it's a shiloh that happened. So the friend, as he was walking once the dog, his friend's dog, the dog came across and found something very, very valuable. So the dog is playing around with these valuable things. So Shimon, the one who's watching the dog, figures it's my day, it's my luck, I get to keep it. Reuven finds out about this story and says, excuse me, it was my dog, something that belongs to me, that found it. And we know that in halacha there's a concept that anything that's in your house, anything that's in your possession, in your vicinity, anything that's in your chutzner, in your courtyard becomes yours, and something that you own maybe is an extension of you. So if it's your dog, if it's Reuven's dog that's found it, the first one to see it, first one to hold it, should Reuven have rights to get this diamond or this valuable treasure that he found? This was a shaila discussion between Reuven and Shimon, and they came to a dayan. And this is how he answered this question. Obviously, we're not talking about peanuts. We're talking about something very valuable, and does a pet, does a chayav that belongs to somebody have the rights, the legal rights that whatever he keeps, whatever he finds, belongs to his master, his owner. There is a Gemara Masechta Nedarim Daf Nun Amud Beis. The Gemara says a very interesting story. Rav Gamda once gave safunoi, gave sailors. He saw boats going out in the waters, a bunch of sailors. He says, "Oh, where are you traveling? Traveling so and so. Do me a favor. Here is 4 zuzim. Get me something nice from where you're going." He gave them a certain amount of money, and bring me back, when you come back, something nice. And the Gemara says, Loi ashkecha. They didn't really find anything nice to bring back, and they weren't maybe they weren't interested. The only thing they decided, they bought a monkey. They saw a monkey, they paid the 4 zuzim, and they brought him back a monkey. Okay, and while they're babysitting this monkey, the Gemara says, Ishtamit ala charta. The monkey ran away and ran into some hole somewhere. They chased after him, and they see, lo and behold, the monkey is sitting right where the monkey's sitting, and the monkey's playing around. There is a diamond, there's a margolis, there's a gem. When they came, they came back to shores. They gave Rav Gamda the monkey, and they gave Rav Gamda the treasure, the gem, whatever the monkey was holding. And the Ran over there in that Gemara, again, this is a Gemara Masechta Nedarim Daf Nun Amud Beis. The Ran says, even though they gave Rav Gamda this monkey, the monkey plus the gem, you should know that halachically they didn't have to give him back the gem. It was only mimidas chasidus. They did it out of being a chassid, being super frum, because loy min adin. Min adin, they weren't obligated to give this. They could have kept it. Tosfos says this. The Rosh says this. The Marsha says, and how do I know? Why would they do such a thing? Why? I mean, if they're able to keep the gem, why would they give it back? The Marsha says because it fits with another Gemara. Other Gemara says the sapanim, those who are sailors. The Gemara says also that those who are traveling a lot on waters are very God-fearing, because they know they have to pray to Hashem and make sure their journey is safe and sound. So they're always calling out to Hashem. So the Sapanim, the Gemara says in Masechta Kedushin, the sailors, Rubam Chasidim, most of them are pious, they're very special people, and they're caring people. So the monkey, they'll give it away, and they gave back everything to Rav Gamda. So according to this Marsha, it's mashma that the only reason, the people are medayik from this Marsha, since only because the monkey did not yet come to Rav Gamda, it was a midas chassidus. They had to give it back to him. They gave back the gem. If the monkey was already owned and given to Rav Gamda, and while he had ownership on it, the monkey found something, then whatever the monkey finds while he's owned by a certain owner belongs to him, and that's why it's a midas chassidus. So if you give a friend to watch your dog, according to this marsha, if you own the dog, whatever he finds belongs to you. However, as mentioned before, most of the other Rishonim, the Tosfos, the Rosh, and the Ran say that despite the fact, it doesn't make a difference if he has an ownership in it yet. In other words, the monkey in that story never got to Rav Gamda before he found. But most of the Rishonim say that even if it would have been Rav Gamda's monkey, and he gave it to you to watch, even then, they are not legally responsible to give it back, and it's only midas chassidus. However, there are other Rishonim. There are other, Rishonim achronim challenges, and they say that it could be that if even if the koif belonged to Rav Gamda, even if it was his monkey that he owned it, even then he wouldn't have to give it back. And this has another part to this story, another shaila. So if mitzad midas chassidus, when you have some part in a success, there's an Indian to give it back, and there's a reason by the monkey, for example. It's brought in Gemara. The Gemara says that, in Gemara Gittin says, that cheresh shoyte v'katan, if anybody steals from a mute person, or a person that's unstable, he's mentally unstable, or a minor, halachically, they don't have any ownership in anything. They don't have any ownership in anything, so if you steal from them, you didn't really steal anything. But you shouldn't really do so. And they darke shalom, for the cause of peace, anything that's stolen from those people, we give it back. So we see this concept that maybe ownership, yes or no ownership, but it's darke shalom, do what's right, and midas chassidus should do what's right. So one other example in which they associated to this story, there was a story that guy dreams at night. It's a story that brought into this bezdin. A guy dreams at night, and he says, I dreamt that you, Chaim, my friend, you should buy a lottery ticket. I had a dream that you're going to win the lottery. Sure enough, Chaim buys the lottery, and he wins. So the Ruvain, his friend who had that dream, wants him to give him a part of it, because he gave him this great advice. So again, halachically, you have no part of it. But since we're talking about so many things, that it's mitzad midas chassidus, you give it back. So one Rav said you should appease him. You should give him something for pushing you to buy the lottery ticket.